Hello friends. In today's video, we will shed light on perhaps the darkest side of Hollywood's brightest stars. Behind the scenes, these names that have written their names in gold letters in the history of cinema were the heroes of an uphill battle against alcohol, from Errol Flynn to Robin Williams, Elizabeth Taylor to Richard Burton. We will take a closer look at the turbulent periods in the lives of these legendary figures. If you're ready, here we go. Errol Flynn, 1909 to 1959. Errol Flynn was the quintessential Hollywood swashbuckler, known for his daring roles in classics like The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood. With his charismatic presence and athletic build, Flynn captivated audiences and became one of the biggest stars of the 1930s and 1940s. However, his off-screen life was just as dramatic as his on-screen adventures. Flynn was infamous for his wild lifestyle, marked by heavy drinking, reckless behavior, and scandalous relationships. Alcohol gradually took a toll on his health, and his career suffered as a result. By the 1950s, his once glowing star had dimmed. In 1959, at the age of 50, Flynn died of a heart attack. An autopsy revealed his body was severely damaged by years of alcohol abuse, with his liver showing signs of cirrhosis. Despite his turbulent life, Flynn's legacy as one of Hollywood's most charismatic leading men endures. Richard Burton, 1925 to 1984. Richard Burton's powerful voice and commanding presence made him one of the greatest actors of his generation. Known for standout performances in Cleopatra, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, Burton earned widespread acclaim and multiple Academy Award nominations. However, Burton's off-screen life was filled with excess, particularly his well-known struggle with alcohol. His turbulent relationship with Elizabeth Taylor, which involved 2 marriages and numerous public scandals, was often fueled by his drinking. Burton's alcohol consumption damaged his liver and health, yet he continued to work in film and theatre. By the time he passed away at 58 from a cerebral hemorrhage, his body had borne the scars of years of alcohol abuse. Burton's undeniable talent remains his greatest legacy, but his tragic battle with addiction continues to cast a shadow over his illustrious career. Elizabeth Taylor, 1932 to 2011. Elizabeth Taylor was a screen legend, known not only for her mesmerizing violet eyes and iconic roles in films like Cleopatra, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and Butterfield 8, but also for her turbulent personal life. Taylor's struggles with addiction to alcohol and prescription drugs were well documented. Her emotional turmoil, combined with the pressures of fame and multiple marriages, contributed to her dependency issues. Taylor's health deteriorated over the years, requiring numerous hospitalizations and treatments. Despite her struggles, she overcame her addictions later in life and became a strong advocate for AIDS awareness, using her fame to support charitable causes. Taylor's resilience and legacy as both a Hollywood icon and humanitarian remain deeply influential. John Barrymore, 1882–1942. John Barrymore, a legendary stage and screen actor, was one of the most celebrated performers of his era. Known for films like Grand Hotel and 20th Century, Barrymore's charismatic presence and Shakespearean background set him apart. However, his career was heavily impacted by his struggles with alcoholism. As his drinking worsened, Barrymore's memory faltered and he became increasingly unreliable on set. His once flawless performances turned erratic, and his reputation suffered. Despite several attempts to regain control of his life, Barrymore succumbed to the effects of chronic alcoholism. He died at the age of 60 from cirrhosis and other alcohol-related complications. Though his final years were marred by decline, Barrymore's influence as a powerful stage and screen performer remains undeniable. Judy Garland, 1922 to 1969. Judy Garland's journey through fame remains one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking stories. Best known for her iconic role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, Garland's immense talent was overshadowed by personal struggles. Pushed into stardom at a young age, Garland faced relentless pressure from studio executives who prescribed stimulants to keep her energized and sleeping pills to ensure rest. This vicious cycle led to lifelong addiction struggles compounded by alcohol abuse. Despite her turbulent personal life, Garland continued to deliver unforgettable performances, including her powerful comeback in A Star Is Born. Tragically, Garland's addiction ultimately claimed her life at the age of 47 due to an accidental overdose. Her legacy as a brilliant yet troubled performer endures, symbolizing both the magic of Hollywood and the price of fame. Mickey Rooney, 1922-14. Mickey Rooney's career spanned over 9 decades, making him one of Hollywood's most prolific actors. Starting as a child star in the 1930s, Rooney went on to star in over 300 films. Known for his boundless energy and comedic timing, he became one of the most recognizable faces of classic Hollywood. However, despite his success, Rooney struggled with alcohol for many years, which at times impacted his personal and professional life. After several failed marriages and battles with addiction, he sought treatment and eventually overcame his alcohol issues later in life. Rooney's resilience allowed him to continue working into his later years, and his career was marked by a late resurgence of recognition. He passed away at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy of versatility and perseverance in the entertainment industry. W.C. Fields, 1880 to 1946. W.C. Fields was a comedy icon whose distinct voice and sarcastic humor made him a beloved figure in early Hollywood. Known for his roles in films like The Bank Dick and My Little Chickadee, Fields created a persona of a misanthropic and often drunken character, which ironically mirrored his real-life struggles with alcohol. His comedic genius was often fueled by his heavy drinking, and it became a central theme in many of his films. Fields' fondness for alcohol was well known, and his behavior off-screen was often as unpredictable as his on-screen antics. Despite his personal issues, Fields left an indelible mark on comedy and film, influencing generations of comedians who followed. He passed away in 1946 at the age of 66, with his legacy firmly cemented in Hollywood history. Dean Martin, 1917 to 1995. Dean Martin, a key member of the legendary Rat Pack, was known for his suave demeanor, smooth voice, and of course, his love for a drink. Martin's cool persona often included a drink in hand, both in his personal life and on screen, where he played the charming, laid-back gentleman. His public image as a man who could effortlessly juggle fame, talent, and alcohol only heightened his popularity. While Martin famously claimed to have never been an alcoholic, his drinking habits were widely recognized and became a defining characteristic of his persona. His life, however, was more than just cocktails and smooth singing. He was also a talented actor, comedian, and singer with a career that spanned decades in both television and film. Martin's health suffered in later years, and he passed away in 1995 at the age of 78, leaving behind an enduring legacy as one of entertainment's greats. Spencer Tracy, 1900 to 1967. Spencer Tracy was known for his powerful acting and his immense contributions to cinema, with unforgettable performances in films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and Captain's Courageous. A respected actor by his peers, Tracy's career spanned over 4 decades, during which he won 2 Academy Awards. However, his personal life was troubled by his struggles with alcoholism, which he battled for many years. Tracy's drinking often created difficulties in his relationships, most notably with actress Katharine Hepburn, with whom he had a long and complicated romantic relationship. Despite his issues, Tracy continued to deliver stellar performances, and his ability to channel his internal struggles into his acting made him one of Hollywood's greatest talents. He passed away at the age of 67, leaving behind a legacy that endures in the world of cinema. Robin Williams, 1951 to 2014. Robin Williams was one of Hollywood's most beloved actors and comedians, known for his incredible range, from manic energy to heartfelt drama. Williams brought laughter to millions with his stand-up comedy in films such as Good Will Hunting, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Aladdin. However, behind his comedic genius, Williams struggled with both alcohol and depression throughout his life. He openly battled alcoholism in the 1970s, and despite periods of sobriety, his addiction and mental health struggles remained a constant challenge. Williams's ability to make people laugh stood in stark contrast to the deep pain he often felt, but he was an open advocate for mental health awareness and addiction recovery. Tragically, Williams died by suicide in 2014 at the age of 63, and his death highlighted the invisible toll that addiction and depression can take on even the most brilliant minds. His passing left a hole in the entertainment world, but his legacy as a compassionate, creative genius lives on. These legendary figures of Hollywood have left us not only unforgettable performances, but also a profound legacy of how they struggled with life's challenges. Their stories help us understand the human frailty behind success and fame. If you liked our video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video, and take care.